How will you remember 2020? It's been an insane year, and that's probably an understatement. I moved to Vancouver, where I currently live, about 3 months before all this kind of went down, and I've been working in film and not working in film due to quarantine, and now working in film again and taking a day here to really reflect on how insane and chaotic everything's been. I've realized that there's also bliss and some great things that have blossomed within this time, not just for myself, but around the world. This might be a global pandemic we're currently going through, but I think there's also real time for global change. And I want to talk about some of the changes I've been through, and I'm assuming some of the changes you might have been through as well. So today we're going to talk about the curiosity of what comes next and remembering the seeds that sprouted in our chaotic 2020. In the first few weeks of quarantining and being inside, I think we all felt the sense of, oh my God, I'm now stuck with my own thoughts. And that can be a super scary thing. But after a couple weeks and getting used to the fact that we're stuck in this kind of living, and it led to new hobbies and new things to do and new skills that we developed in terms of cooking, gardening. Myself, I realized that it could be a while before the film industry gets back up and going, and how long could it be? And that's what led me to realize, well, hey, you can stop a film industry, but you can't stop a filmmaker. So that's what that led me to do. I ended up getting out the most content I've ever gotten out before. And with that, I started to invest in better gear and better understanding of the knowledge of how to operate that gear via video, sound, lighting, and also the education I get from my job greatly benefits that. Another thing that I've learned, and I assume some of you might have learned, is the impact we have on the environment, and that we need to be grateful for what we have. And maybe that goes beyond the environment and into the time we have with our families. In the snap of a finger, it's as easy as only having video calls to converse with your family. For myself, that was a blessing, because being on the other side of the country from my family, for the first time in a few years, I'd say, when I picked up the phone to call a family member, I pretty much knew they were picking up. So in that time, I had some of the best conversations and communication with my family and loved ones that I'd had in a long, long time. And as this whole pandemic continued, we've seen people stand up for what's right, and more people have a voice in a time where our voices need to be heard, in a time where we have the resources available to take those steps, to share our voice, and to band together to create real change. And in all these great things that we've been able to learn and personally grow and develop in this time, there will also be a time when this comes to pass. And it's important not to just have this be a chapter in the next history book. I believe it'll be important to remember 2020 and carry all these things that we've learned and all this knowledge we've accumulated in this time with us, and not just leave it in this chapter of our lives as we move forward. When I look back on the year 2020, I'll remember it as the year the world came to a halt, and we all had the chance to meet ourselves, possibly for the first time. It's the times like these that remind us what we're grateful of and what we're grateful for. Just remember, you're always one smile away from changing a day. This is Connecting Curiosities. Until next time, my friends.